The world's Doomsday Clock has been moved forward to 90 seconds to midnight. It's the first time the clock has moved since the pandemic in 2020. The Doomsday Clock is a metaphor for worldwide collapse.
Science Maniatics, are you ready for some heart-stopping news? Marcus here as your Science Maniatics correspondent for today. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists has issued a warning that humanity is facing a time of unprecedented danger. The Doomsday Clock, a symbol of how close we are to global catastrophe, has been moved 10 seconds closer to midnight, now at 90 seconds to midnight. This is the closest it has been to symbolic doom since it was created over 75 years ago. The clock's adjustment is in response to the multiple threats that humanity is facing right now. The threat of nuclear war and the increasing number of nuclear weapons, the devastating impact of climate change, and the lack of action to curb it, and the ongoing threat of pandemics and biological warfare. All these factors have led the scientists to conclude that the world is in a state of emergency. The Doomsday Clock was created to convey the proximity of catastrophic threats to humanity and serves as a metaphor for public and world leaders rather than a predictive tool. When it was first unveiled in 1947, the clock was set at 7 minutes to midnight, with midnight signifying human-caused apocalypse. At the height of the Cold War, it was set at 2 minutes to midnight. This year, the clock has reached its closest point to midnight since its creation at 90 seconds to midnight. What do you think is the significance of the clock being set at 90 seconds to midnight? In 2020, the clock was set at 100 seconds to midnight, marking the first time it had moved within the 2-minute mark. The clock was left unchanged for the next 2 years, but now the clock scientists say we are perilously closer to disaster. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has increased the risk of nuclear escalation, and countries like North Korea, India, and Pakistan are expanding their nuclear threats. The ongoing arms race between nations and the lack of diplomatic efforts to reduce the number of nuclear weapons is a major concern. How do you think the current state of nuclear weapons and arms race between nations poses a threat to humanity? The climate crisis is also a major threat, with carbon dioxide emissions rebounding to record highs in 2021 and 2022. The world leaders must take note and take action, as the fate of humanity is at stake. The Doomsday Clock is a dire warning. The question is there anything we can do about it, or are we too late? Many religions, especially the King James Bible, speak about the coming end of the world and the apocalypse. With everything going on, it definitely gets your attention. Are those Bible thumpers really crazy, or is there something to what they have been saying? Either way, whether you believe them or not, the clock's hands are ticking, and time is running out, says science. It's time for leaders to take bold steps to address these pressing issues for the sake of our planet and all its inhabitants. Maybe if they believe in God, this might be the time to start really praying and taking action, because if this is an act of God, he must be really upset with how we have treated the world and each other. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. How close are we to a global catastrophe according to the Doomsday Clock? What are the factors that have led scientists to conclude that the world is in a state of emergency? What can we do to prevent the end of the world as we know it? Let us know in the comments section.